At 70 years old, he decided to write a letter. Not to a friend, not to a family member, but to himself. More specifically, to the man he once was. He sat alone at a small wooden desk near the window. The afternoon light was soft and slow, the kind of light that only appears when the day has nothing left to prove. The paper in front of him was blank, and for a long moment, he simply stared at it. Because when you have lived for 70 years, where do you begin? There are so many memories, so many choices, so many moments that seemed small at the time, but now feel enormous. He thought about his younger self. In his 20s, he was always in a hurry, always moving, always chasing something just beyond reach. He believed life was a race, and slowing down meant falling behind. So he wrote his first line. You will think you have time. More time than you actually do. Back then, time felt endless. Weeks blended together. Years felt slow. He assumed there would always be another chance, another conversation, another opportunity to rest. So he postponed things. Vacations were delayed, phone calls were ignored, moments were sacrificed in the name of responsibility. Not because he didn't care, but because he thought life would wait. He was wrong. He continued writing. You will confuse being busy with being important. He remembered how full his days once were. Meetings, deadlines, obligations. His calendar was always packed, yet his heart often felt empty. He missed birthdays because of work, dinners because of exhaustion, conversations because he was always thinking about what came next. He told himself it was temporary, just a busy phase, just one more year. But years have a quiet way of turning into decades. As he wrote, memories surfaced. Faces of people he loved, some still alive, others long gone. He thought about the conversations he never finished, the words he assumed he could say later. Later never came. He paused. His hand rested on the paper. At 70, you finally understand something that youth cannot fully grasp. Time doesn't disappear suddenly. It slips away gently, one ordinary day at a time. He wrote about fear. Fear will guide more of your decisions than you realize. The fear of failure, the fear of disappointing others, the fear of choosing the wrong path. So many choices were made not out of desire, but out of safety. He stayed where he was comfortable. He said yes when he wanted to say no. He followed expectations that were never truly his. Fear kept him busy, but it also kept him distant. Distant from people, distant from joy, distant from himself. And yet, as he continued writing, his tone softened. Because life, despite everything, had also been kind. There were moments of laughter, unexpected friendships, love that arrived quietly and stayed longer than expected. He realized something important. Life is not a list of mistakes to regret. It is a collection of lessons to understand. He wrote, You will learn that perfection was never required. Presence was. Some of his happiest memories were not the big achievements. They were small, almost invisible moments. A shared coffee, a walk without a destination, a conversation that lasted longer than planned. Moments where nothing productive happened, but everything meaningful did. At 70, he finally understood. Life doesn't punish us for being imperfect. It simply reflects our priorities. If you prioritize speed, it gives you exhaustion. If you prioritize appearances, it gives you emptiness. But if you prioritize connection, it gives you peace. He reached the final part of the letter. This part took the longest, because it carried the weight of everything he had learned. He wrote slowly, If you are reading this now, remember this. Slow down when you can. Say what matters. Don't wait for the perfect moment to enjoy your life. Choose presence over pressure, connection over control, meaning over noise. He folded the letter carefully, not with regret, but with acceptance. Because wisdom does not come from living without mistakes. It comes from understanding them and forgiving yourself for being human. He looked out the window. The sky was beginning to change color. At 70, he no longer feared aging. He feared only one thing: reaching the end of life without having truly lived it. If you are listening to this and feel time moving faster than it used to, let this be your reminder. You don't need to rush. You don't need to prove anything. You don't need to earn rest. Life is happening now. Not someday, not later, now. And often, the clearest understanding of life doesn't come early. It comes after 70.